Here I am trying to enter on Dinamo Arena to see Ilia Topuria present the belt and also watch the match Georgia versus Luxembourg. And here he is on an official invitation by the Georgian Football Federation, walking out and presenting the belt which the Georgian people have long desired. It was the usual thing. He showed support for the Georgian national team. Actually, this match was very important. It was one of two matches left for Georgia to win in order to qualify for the Euro 2024. The match was against Luxembourg and the Georgian national team won 2-0, as predicted, by the way, exactly by Ilia Topuria. So I guess Mystic Ilia strikes again. And prior to that, he was in Spain and he was officially invited by Real Madrid to present his belt, that time in Santiago Bernabeu, on a match Real Madrid versus Sevilla. As anybody who understands anything about football will realize that this is a huge deal, probably the most valuable team in the world and not one of the most successful teams in the world in football, invites you to present the belt right after you win it. This is a massive franchise and it's a massive setup for UFC to go to Spain. Now let me give you the promised explanation about all the stops that Ilia made. So here he's meeting the Prime Minister of Spain, who expedited his Spanish citizenship. Until then, he was only Georgian citizen. And I think one of the main reasons why he was not a Spanish citizen yet is the fact that to become Spanish citizen, you have to give up your prior or other citizenships or citizenship. And Ilia didn't want to do that. He didn't want to give up his Georgian citizenship. So I guess it took him to become a UFC world champion in order for him to get special type of deal from the Spanish government, in this case specifically by the Prime Minister, and receive Spanish citizenship without revoking his Georgian citizenship. Here he is meeting the newly appointed Georgian Prime Minister while he visited Georgia after Spain, and by these two main visits he pointed out loyalty to both countries, in my opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. By blood he's Georgian, he identifies very much with Georgia, and he has stated that many times. He speaks pretty fluent Georgian, especially for a person who's been living abroad for quite a while like he has. But I believe that he is truly also patriotic to Spain as well. This is not one of those cases where somebody just does their camps in a certain country and has certain loyalty until they're doing their camps there. I think he's very connected to Spain. Now his fiance or wife, I'm not sure, is Spanish as well. So basically he has a very deep connection to that country, and he's proud to represent Spain alongside Georgia as well. But at the end of the day, he's by blood Georgian, and nothing can ever change that. I know that in the West their lines have become more gray, but ethnicity still remains an important factor, especially when you have your parents and you are raised in a certain household which carries certain traditions. While in Georgia, he did several interviews in Georgian, and when he does interviews in Georgian, I think more depth of his personality comes out. And I think this is true for a lot of non-English speaking fighters. especially those ones I can confirm whose languages I speak. And it's sometimes for better or sometimes for worse. And in Ilia's case, I think it serves him better. In this interview with Sedana Sports and Mindia Ziglauri, who I was actually co-hosting and co-commentating the UFC fights, he touched different points which may be interesting. One, he gave a very coherent reason why he changed the Instagram bio in advance before the fight. He said that one of those days he opened Instagram, he saw that his Instagram said that he was 14-0 and the future UFC champ. So he said that now the fight is set. I got here, God brought me here, and there is no reason why I shouldn't be able to seal the deal and become the champion. So it was like part of his process that he said that, okay, let me just right away go ahead and change this from future champ to the actual champ and 14-0 to 15-0. He also discussed the potential fight against Sean O'Malley, and he said that he believes when you have a clear-cut contender knocking at your door for a while now, you shouldn't be moving up and fighting champions above. In this case, Merab Dvalishvili is a clear-cut contender that Sean needs to fight before doing any type of other movements. In his division, the situation is a bit different because obviously the champion he defeated was the long-reigning champion and undefeated in that division. Volkanovski pretty much has defeated every big known name in that division. But nonetheless, Ilia has no intention of moving up from what I'm seeing, and he plans to defend the belt at featherweight. This led them to another point of doing UFC in Europe, particularly in Spain, and he discussed that this would allow not only Spanish people but also Georgian people to much easier access that event, and he expects a lot of Georgians to be present there as well.
ჩემი სურვილი იყო და მეორე მოვალეობა იყო, რომ ჩამოსულიყავი და ქართულ ხალხთან გამეზიარებინა ჩემი გამარჯვება და რავი, მოლოდინს გადააჭარბა, სიმართლე რო გითხრა, გუშინდელმა დახვედრამ და რავი, უდიდესი მადლობა ყველას.
Ilia is an Orthodox Christian, which is predominant religion in Georgia as well. And being born in a certain country or moving there while you are a teenager doesn't change that. He, for instance, was born in Germany because of the war in Georgia, but Germany, for instance, doesn't even view being born there that important. They won't provide you citizenship or any type of additional benefits other than just being born there. My brother, for instance, was born in Austria, but he was not granted any type of citizenship or residential rights because of that, and he certainly does not identify as Austrian. We like Austria, but that's where he's at. I think the simple summary would be that he is Georgian by both parents. He speaks Georgian, he identifies as Georgian, but he also identifies very well with Spanish culture, and he has a huge and important following there as well. And that to me is quite important because I respect people who move to a different country and they respect their culture and they respect what that country has provided for them. You probably moved to a different country for a reason, and a similar thing is with Merab. For instance, Merab Dvalishvili has been training a long time in the US and has been living a long time in the US, and he has achieved quite a lot in the US. Actually, most of the things that he achieved was thanks to being in the US. And this is why he carries both flags as well. Now he's a bit Mexican as well for whatever reason, but yeah, at the end of the day, he is Georgian as well. Ethnically, he identifies deeply with the culture, but they both respect the countries which have provided them a lot. And after he finished his tour, if you have any more questions about his star power, you You can take a look at this photo.